Live from Vanguardia America headquarters in Phoenix, I'm James Garcia. The list of victims released Monday show that 5 of 7 people killed by a mass shooter over the Labor Day weekend were Latino. A white male in his 30s went on a shooting rampage in the West Texas Twin Cities of Odessa Midland on Saturday, killing 7 and wounding 21 others. The youngest person killed was a Latina teenager who had celebrated her quinceañera in May. The alleged killer, who was recently fired from his job, used a high-powered rifle to randomly shoot people. He was later killed by police. In the wake of a mounting national controversy, the Trump administration formally announced changes this week to a decades-old policy that allowed people facing serious medical conditions to temporarily remain in the U.S. without fear of deportation. News broke in August that federal immigration authorities had mailed letters to sick immigrants stating they would no longer accept requests for what was commonly known as medical deferred action. The letters also told people who had been granted that special status they could be deported within weeks. After widespread criticism, according to CBS News, the Trump administration partially reversed course on Monday, saying immigrants who had requested the deferred action status by August 7th would have their applications reviewed after all. Still, there is no guarantee that these individuals will be allowed to stay in the country. Federal officials have not confirmed if the program will be discontinued altogether or managed by another agency. About 1,000 people a year apply to the program, including many with life-threatening diseases. A survey of more than 8,100 registered Latino voters in 11 states found a large majority plan to vote Democratic in the 2020 election. This, according to a study by Equus Labs, a research firm co-founded by a former staffer to President Obama, Stephanie Valencia. NBC Latino reports the research is the largest survey of Latinos so far for the 2020 elections, and it's designed to ratchet up outreach to Latino voters. Meanwhile, Pew Research Center projects the 2020 election will mark the first time that Hispanics will be the largest racial or ethnic minority group in the U.S. electorate, accounting for just over 13% of eligible voters, while 12% will be African Americans. In raw numbers, according to Pew, a projected 32 million Hispanics will be eligible to vote in 2020, compared to 30 million African Americans. In Tucson, City Council member Regina Romero was the victor in the city's August Democratic primary for mayor. Because Republicans have not fielded an opponent, her election to the job is virtually guaranteed. If elected, Romero will be the second Hispanic and first woman mayor to lead the city. Romero is the daughter of migrant farm workers and a staunch progressive. The last time Tucson had a Mexican-American mayor was in 1875. Also in Arizona, disgraced former Sheriff Joe Arpaio has announced he is running for his old job in Maricopa County. Arpaio was convicted of criminal contempt of court by a federal judge for ignoring orders that his department stop racially profiling Latinos. He was later pardoned by President Trump. Despised by the great majority of Arizona Latinos, Arpaio nevertheless insists he will campaign for Hispanic votes. Arpaio, who is of Italian descent, once told Univision Television that he believes he has a lot in common with Hispanics because he has, quote, Latin blood. CNN Films will release the documentary The Sound of My Voice about the life and career of Linda Ronstadt on Friday, September 6 in theaters nationwide. The film is jointly directed by Rob Epstein and Jeffrey Friedman, the Oscar-winning team behind The Times of Harvey Milk and The Cellulite Closet, according to Rolling Stone magazine. Ronstadt, who has Parkinson's disease and no longer sings, has sold tens of millions of record albums around the world. Visit VanguardiaAmerica.com for more news. For Vanguardia America, I'm James Garcia.